I don't know if the email was meant for me or not, but this email just came to me, and I'm gonna say this: I'm not on a level anymore where I look at myself as an individual. Of course, I mean I'm an individual and I have needs and wants, just like everyone else, and I have desires and I breathe and all of that. I'm not trying to get too far out, but I'm saying that upon what I'm discovering about the remorphing of time, I'm no longer an individual from the aspect of identifying soul. Now, on the physical realm, that's different. But when you start talking about soul, and if you identify, I don't know if you get into that. Speaking to the sister that sent me this email in the form of a question and a statement, which I'm answering now. But, or however, when you get into that soul aspect, some people look at it as a soul single, and some people look at this as a group. Some people look at it as do, re, mi, fa, sol, like to be like I'm a soldier. I'm on my mission. Like I'm on my own. Like I did this solely by myself, type of a thing. Whereas I look at soul as a group, and you are part of group karma. And once you learn who your soul really is, you'll find out that it's a part of a group, and you can communicate telepathically and talk to this group, and identify with this group, and eventually make communion with this group. However, you are part of the soul group. So when you start talking about ego, for myself personally, that's on the physical realm, of which is real. However, that's the aspect of the individual, and where it stops at is with the ego and what I want and what I identify with is the ego. But then there's the soul group, to where it could get to a point where if one member of the soul is experiencing something in the group, either the other member of the soul has to experience something of equal value, of like whether it's pleasure, pain, or whatever, or it could cancel out the whole group. That's how deep it is. So it's like if one person is experiencing this ultimate joy, and then another person's soul group is desolate, this is going to cause like a opposite reaction. So everything has to be balanced, not equal, but balanced in the soul group. And this is where you get into a lot of customs of like religion and goodness and all of that type of stuff coming from the aspect of the soul group. Because if you start to be good to individuals outside of the soul group, this may be being good to a being that's against your interests a lot of times. And like attracts like. So it's just like groups of animals flock together. That's how it is. And they don't necessarily mess with groups of other animals unless that's their prey. So it's in the soul group. You have to understand how you function as in the soul group that you're in on a spiritual level. So on a quantum level, she was experiencing the same, well, how can I have things and own things? If on a quantum level, we're locked into time, and time is resetting. She said, so basically everything is up for grabs. Nobody owns anything anymore. Well, that's not true, because you still have to honor the soul group. You got to remember that. So there's still an ownership on a financial level. That's where I think she was getting at. But it's dealing with the group, though, on that aspect. And they would be the governor of things. You start talking about buildings, property, and all this type of stuff. So you can't get outside of the group. That's where I want to kind of get out on this episode. And overstanding time reset and shifting and debts and credits and all of that. You got to remember, this could still be called upon by a higher group. Some people call it the Anunnaki or Anushit, which is a higher level of the Most High. However you want to call it in religion, and or in politics, or whatever the case may be, they have another term for it. But this is a group, and you have to learn how to access this group in order for you to get claim. She was speaking about claiming property over things. This is when you get into manifesting on a deeper level. So we'll talk more about this in the future. You guys stay vigilant. Peace.